Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So President Trump signed another executive order allowing teachers to physically discipline students in schools. Now I have a problem with this, and it goes beyond what the eyes can see. I recently came across a social experiment. So in this experiment, both black and white kids were placed in a monitored room. So this happened. The people in charge focused disproportionately on the black children. They watched them more and I guess judged them more. So while officials are saying that the executive order isn't about race and that all students will be treated fairly, I'm not buying it, because history and real-world example shows us otherwise. Let me be clear though, no parent is okay with this. Black, white, Chinese, Latina, no one wants a stranger putting their fingers on their kid. But if we're being real, black parents have every reason to especially be concerned. So let's talk about what this executive order really means, who it will affect the most, and why this is much more deeper than it looks. Let's watch these clips. I'll come back at the end of this video to give my own 2 cents.
Next year, we have an executive order on school discipline policies. Under, I believe it was the Biden administration, first Obama and then Biden, the Department of Justice issued guidance that made it almost impossible for schools to enforce adequate disciplinary policies. This created issues in the classroom for teachers and students alike. Basically, they focused on CRT and sort of diversity ideology instead of actually just enforcing the rules in classrooms to ensure a safe learning environment. This executive order revokes that prior guidance and puts us back in a place where hopefully the Department of Education can focus on education and teachers can focus on teaching in a safe environment.
And this was important for you, Linda, as I understand it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it gives teachers the authority now to have discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive. We took that away.
Okay.
Did y'all see Trump sign an executive order allowing teachers to physically discipline your kids within the classroom? How y'all feel about that? Because I wish my son's teacher would put their hands on him. I wish they would.
The teachers can physically discipline the children now. You let a monkey teacher touch my damn child, any of the 3 that came out of my goddamn birth canal, and see if I ain't gonna turn that school up the fuck side down, sideways, all around, everything. Y'all gonna see my ass on the national news. You better just go ahead and give me my inmate number right now, because I'm gonna turn that upside the fuck down. Like, I'm so glad that my kids have home training, and like I don't think I really gotta worry about that shit. But you let any one of them 3 come home and tell me or call me and let me know that they teacher done put their motherfucking hands on them. I will light they motherfucking asses up, and especially let it be a man and he putting his hands on my daughter. I don't think they thought about this one too clearly. I really don't. I don't know. What day and age are we going back to? I don't know. The teachers can now physically discipline the children. The executive order was signed. No way. Ain't no fucking way. I don't know. They must just want to put people up in the jailhouse, because I don't see no other way that this is going to turn out. But other than a lot of parents going to end up in the jailhouse if the teachers start putting their hands on our children. Am I tripping? I can't be tripping. I can't be the problem.
I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. These Republicans passing these bills to allow teachers to discipline your child, or like in West Virginia, to go and look at your child's privates without your consent. I'm saying it publicly right now. I dare someone to do either of the 2 without my consent, and I'm going to take you to go see the devil himself. Go ahead and take my picture now, because I'll be in prison, not jail. And you can go ahead and give me life, because that's what I'm going to be taking from the person that does anything without my consent to my child. I'm not playing.
So Trump signed the executive order to put corporal punishment back in schools. I don't really know what to think of it. It's kind of tricky. 2 things can happen. We can start getting a lot of kids put in a system like that, or it can be good and the teachers will have more freedom to teach. Kids won't come in the classroom without any consequences. Now, when I was teaching from 2008 to 2014, they had ended that for the most part. And you are absolutely powerless as a teacher. So that's the good thing I see in this. The other thing I'm kind of got a question mark about it is what I said at first. This could be a way that a lot of kids be put in the system. So I'm mixed on this one. Tell me what y'all think about this. I'm really mixed on this one.
If we could have one day without some bullshit, that would be great. So yesterday, Trump signed an executive order allowing teachers to physically discipline students. Let that sink in. Allowing teachers to physically discipline students. I don't even physically discipline my children because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I've raised amazing children who are awesome adults. I just can't believe that this Linda McMahon says, yes, this is what we need. We need to make sure that we discipline our kids physically in schools. I am so done with this whole fucking administration. I'm telling you, if a teacher puts their hand on my child, on my 11-year-old daughter, I will be up at that school so quick. You have no idea. You have no idea. I cannot believe this.
President Trump likes to sign executive orders. It's his thing. It makes him give the idea that he's actually done something. Like the IVF executive order that he signed, making IVF free to everyone, which was not true. All he did was issue guidance to the IVF industry saying, hey, there has to be a way to make this more affordable. Now, IVF is required to be covered by 13 different states through insurance policies, but there's obviously restrictions and differences between all of 13 states and the insurances that cover it. So in this case, he is signing an executive order allowing teachers to physically discipline their students. And he actually turns to McMahon in this video. You can go back and watch it. I tagged that right there. And he asks her, this is what you wanted, right? Dude, you've demolished the Department of Education. It doesn't exist anymore. Part of it's going to go to the Treasury. The other part of it's going to go to Health and Human Services. So you've signed an executive order that really has no law behind it and is supposed to be administered or carried out by the Department of Education by this woman, Ms. Secretary McMahon, and that you've disappeared. Riddle me that, Batman. How is that executive order actually going to work if there's no department to enforce it? I wish you all the best of luck.
Okay, so as usual, Trump's policies got people going crazy and inferring and believing that Trump's new policy means that teachers can put their hands on kids in classrooms. That's not what it means. It means that when somebody needs to get in trouble for doing something, they're going to get in trouble for doing something. And the way things were working, I'm not an actual teacher, but I spoke to 2 different teachers that said they specifically were not allowed to discipline certain colored children for doing things wrong. They were told not to discipline them because it might discourage them. So now these are going to be like things that are taken into consideration when disciplining. Like certain people weren't allowed to be kicked out of the classroom. Certain people were not allowed to be giving suspensions based on color. So this is what it means. It doesn't mean the teacher is going to start beating your kids now. Wrong.
I can switch it up, but I'm still going to provide you with this breaking good news. Okay. The sundowning Sideshow Bob is going through it today, guys, and yesterday. But first of all, let's start with the executive orders that he signed. He signed one allowing teachers to physically discipline students. Now, I have a couple questions because has he met this generation? First of all, I know the teachers, there are so many educators that are not touching people's kids, that they are not in alignment with this. So that's not going to go to play. But for the ones that think it's okay to touch and discipline someone else's children, they can be prepared for the parents to fight them back or the kids are going to knock them the fuck out. These kids do not play. Okay. The judge also temporarily blocked the Dollar Tree dictator administration's efforts to end DEI in public schools. Okay. Speaking of DEI, in this sort of relationship, we got love bombed by the Dollar Tree dictator also signing an executive order to support HBCUs. And it's just talk. It's all talk. There will be no actual support. Don't worry about that. We don't give a fuck about none of that anyway. Yeah, it's like when you're in an abusive relationship and then they come back with gifts, but then the gifts are either non-tangible or they're just efforts of doing better, and you never do better because you're a piece of shit. China also made it clear that there has not been, in fact, no discussions. There has been no discussions regarding trade negotiations. And this is huge because based on what the Dollar Tree dictator has been saying when he met with Walmart and Target and Home Depot and Elon Musk, and said that they would work towards the negotiations with China. China said, that has not happened. So he's gaslighting you as well. We're not fucking with him. And for your viewing pleasure, of course, I have 27-year-old KKK Caroline Levitt and her husband, who is 59 years old. Oh, jump scare. That's not him, but he kind of looks like him. This is Caroline Levitt and her husband. Enjoy. Thank you. As always, I will be available to provide you with breaking good news to outweigh the bad. Have a great day.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So according to the people who presented this executive order, the justification goes like this. During the Obama administration and even under Biden's administration at one point, they claimed that disciplining students became nearly impossible. Teachers, they say, had their hands tied. There were too many restrictions, too many policies focused on keeping schools politically correct and overly cautious, which in their view made it harder to maintain discipline in classrooms. And so now, years later, those same individuals have returned with a new proposal. At this time, they took it straight to Trump, and without hesitation, without a second thought, he signed this executive order. Now, I'm not going to say too much about that, but I do have two very important things I want to share, especially with Black parents. First, please, I beg you, educate your children, sit them down, talk to them, help them understand what is happening and how this could affect them specifically, because while this executive order is being sold as a neutral policy, something that applies equally to all students, regardless of race or background. Let's be honest. We know how the world works. We've seen how neutral policies somehow always end up disproportionately impacting Black children more than any other group. I'm not trying to assume anything here. I'm not trying to generalize, but based on what I've seen, and I'm sure many of you have seen it too, Black children are already being watched more, judged more, and sometimes punished more. We remember the incident of a young boy who accidentally knocked at a Pam Color's home, and we know what happened, the fate of that boy. So it's not paranoia, okay? It's not exaggeration, it's reality. You know, there have been studies. There have been social experiments, real footage showing Black kids and white kids in the exact same environment doing the exact same thing, and yet the Black kids are the ones getting flagged, okay? So getting reprimanded, getting targeted, okay? So yes, it might be equal on paper, but practice, that's where the fear sets in, okay? And that's why I'm arguing every Black parent watching this to do what you can to prepare your children, help them understand the power dynamics that exist inside those school buildings, teach them to stay calm, to carry themselves with discipline, to protect themselves, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Because if a teacher is now allowed to physically discipline a student, we can only, we know exactly what is going to feel the brunt of that first. And here's the first thing I need to say. What exactly is going to solve What exactly is this going to solve? How is allowing teachers to hit? I don't know if they're going to be doing that anyway. I don't think so. I don't know if they're going to do that. But what is it going to benefit anybody? Okay. Yeah. How is allowing teachers to do this going to help anything? Is this somehow going to boost academic scores? Is it going to inspire kids to, love learning? Is it going to reduce pew-pewing in schools? I don't know. You help me. Let me know in the comment section down below, because discipline doesn't start with fear. It starts with understanding, with connection, with communication. Turning schools into environments of fear doesn't create better students. It creates trauma. It builds resentment. It plants seed of rebellion and distracts that can last a lifetime. And beyond that, what kind of message are we sending to the children? That being physically punished is just part of growing up, I guess. Question mark. Okay. That adults can hate you if you don't follow the rules, and we just have to accept it. Question mark. We are stepping into something, I don't want to say the word, because the next thing we know, it won't just be about school discipline. Again, I don't want to say this. I don't want to mention it. And let me add something else that people aren't thinking about. What happens when a parent finds out that their child was, physically disciplined? What happens when that parent gets angry and reacts the way any loving parent might? We're talking about opening up a new cycle of conflict, and unfortunately, that may lead to jail. Yeah. And we know that black folks are far more likely to face criminal charges in these types of situations. So now, not only our kids at risk, but parents could be too. You get my point? Yeah, so I'll leave this question to you guys. What exactly is the end goal here? Is it to create safer schools, or is it to reintroduce outdated methods of control under the guise of discipline? Because to me, it feels like a step backward, a way to police children instead of teaching them a way to control rather than uplift. And that doesn't just affect one group, it affects all of us. But again, black parents, this message especially for you: do whatever it takes to keep your kids informed, grounded, and prepared, because when policies like this come into play, we don't get the luxury of waiting to see how it pans out. We have to act early. We have to protect our own. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section down below, guys. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and share this video. Help me. I don't know why YouTube keeps flagging, dropping my views on all my videos. So make sure you share my videos. I would really appreciate it. In fact, I appreciate it just by you watching this video up to the end. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Please stay peaceful.